Okay, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us for another wonderful, wonderful morning as we are getting ready to enter a fantastic Shabbat, Shabbat Hanukkah, which means that we have this week two readings in the Torah. We have this regular Parashat Vayeshev, and as well we have the Parasha of Hanukkah that we are going to read. And so this week is a beautiful Shabbat. Of course, we should make sure that the synagogues that we're going to are being safe and healthy, social distance. But there is much celebration in synagogue this week. There is the regular Shabbat prayers, very festive. There's the Hallel that we say, full Hallel for the 8 nights of Hanukkah, the 8 days of Hanukkah. There is the Torah reading. There is the Musaf of Shabbat. And so, Be'ezrat Hashem, we should have an amazing Shabbat ahead of us, a Shabbat of miracles, a Shabbat of peace, of growth, of inspiration. One of the changes that are made in the daily prayers throughout the next 8 days of Hanukkah, and I'm not sure if we spoke about these in the halachot, and don't worry, I'm not going to bore you today with more halachot. But one of the changes that are made in the laws of Hanukkah is that in the prayer we add a passage called Al Hanisim. This is added in the Amidah and in the Birchat HaMazon. And it's a beautiful prayer that one should actually try to take a few minutes today, if you don't understand it already, and look at a Hebrew English Sidur and try to understand what the rabbis are trying to tell us in this bracha, Al Hanisim, and we're thanking God. Basically, it's a prayer of thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the miracles that we experience back then and now. And then we go into detail of what Hashem did exactly, and how over 2,000 years ago, the Hashmonaim defeated the Greeks and they lit the menorah. Beautiful. There is another time in the year that we say Al Hanisim, that we thank Hashem for the miracles. Purim, correct. Purim. So 2 times a year that we're thanking God for miracles, Purim and Hanukkah. And there's much to say on the Al Hanisim prayers. I'll leave you with a question just for Shabbat. And I'm sorry to do this to you again. By the way, you have to remind me to answer the questions from previous classes because I forget them also. But a question that you could raise on your table on the Shabbat is the question that we're going to ask in 1 minute, but also the following question that we're not going to answer today. And that is, why does the Al Hanisim only mention the miracle of the war? The whole Al Hanisim is how God let us defeat the Greeks. And the few defeated the many, the righteous defeated the wicked, etc. There's no mentioning of the oil. You know how we mention the oil? Very passively. The oil is like this. You ready? We want like literally one. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lines on the war, and then not even 8 words. Hidliku nerot behatzrot kochecha. 4 words, and they don't even tell us the miracle. All the 4 words say is, and then they lit oil. That's what they did. They lit oil. That's how you summarize the miracle of the oil. And they lit oil. That is the greatest injustice. That's like a person asking you, tell me, why are you guys eating matzah? Oh yeah, because one time we were in Egypt and we left. You were in Egypt and you left? No. You weren't in Egypt and you left. You were slaves for 210 years. Nobody could get out. The most powerful empire in the ancient history, in the ancient era, were the Egyptians. They had magic blocking us, and then God came with 10 makot and split the sea. That's an accurate description of Pesach. So that's a question that I want you to chew on over Shabbat. Why do we just mention the most passive mentioning of oil? There's no miracle, nothing. Okay. Back to my question that I want to address today. And maybe today's answer will answer the first question, because I know we hate being left on an open-ended hook. But the question that I would like to talk about today is, why don't we say Al Hanisim on Pesach? Why don't we say Al Hanisim on Shavuot? Why don't we say Al Hanisim on Sukkot? There were miracles in those holidays, very big ones. The miracles of Pesach, we don't have to mention. The makot and the splitting. The miracles of Shavuot. I don't know if we mentioned this. Shavuot, such a short holiday, and so much to talk about. But there were miracles. The Jewish people surrounding Har Sinai, they saw, not only they heard God, they saw the sound waves, whatever that means. There were miracles. There were miracles on Sukkot, the holiday of protecting the Jews. 40, can you imagine? 40 years. Today I go out into 90 degrees and you could smell the BO from the back of the bus. Imagine 600,000 people for 40 years. There's no BO. There's no bad smell. There's no showers. How did that happen? That's a very big miracle, Why is there no mentioning of Ala Nisim on those 3 holidays? And if anyone has an answer, please write it on the side. I would love to see an answer suggested. By the way, I do have to mention a side note. And if you're following us on the recordings, either live or the recordings that we post up afterwards, we asked a question a few days ago. We mentioned the concept of Yaakov, and I'm mentioning this in thanks to Elise and Abe the Belly. I don't know if they're on the chat yet. I don't see her yet, but she shared with me an answer that I asked in the class that I did not have the answer to. So I'm sorry for putting the class on hold, but we have to mention this because this made my day. I should have said this yesterday, actually, because she gave me the answer yesterday. But just to rewind, Yaakov Avinu was projected that he's going to have 3 challenges in his life. Esav, Lavan, Yosef. And the acronym for those 3 is Alai. And his mother Rivka hints to this. And she says to him, Alai hayu kulana. Alai, Esav, Lavan, Yosef. Now, I don't know if Yaakov got it looking forward, but maybe like back in the future, maybe retroactively he realized what was going on. You know what I'm saying? But Alai is an acronym for Esav, Lavan, Yosef. And Yaakov realizes many years later, oh, that's what my mom meant. Esav, Lavan, Yosef. We asked a question that we did not give an answer to. What about Dinah? What about Dinah? Where's the Dalit in the word Alai? I did not have the answer, and I thank again Elise for this answer. He gave such a fantastic answer. I couldn't believe it. And the reason I'm sharing this is because if you have answers to questions, I don't always have the answer, so please share them with me. And what she said is fantastic, that we know Yosef and Dinah are very connected. When Leah was pregnant and she eventually gives birth to Yosef, our rabbis tell us that really she wasn't supposed to have Leah gets pregnant, she has Dinah. She wasn't supposed to have Dinah. Originally, she was pregnant with Yosef. I don't know if you ever heard this. What I'm telling you right now, you got to put whatever you're doing down and pay attention. Leah was pregnant, and inside was Yosef. But Leah was so great. You ready? We don't appreciate Leah's greatness sometimes. She was on such a level that she realized that if she has Yosef, she's going to have 7 boys. The Bilhad and Zilpah, the 2 maids, are going to have 2 each. Let's do math. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 2 is 11. And they knew they're going to have 12. That leaves 1. So even if Rachel gets that 1, she's going to be outplayed by the maids. She didn't want her sister to feel that. And so Leah prayed and prayed and prayed. And God switched the pregnancy. Again, I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm just saying words. Okay? Please don't ask me questions on this. But God switched the pregnancy of Leah with Rachel, and who Leah had went to Rachel, and who Rachel was supposed to have came to Leah. And so Rachel was holding Dinah in her womb. And so Dinah goes to Leah, and Yosef goes to Rachel. And so their souls of Dinah and Yosef are intertwined tremendously. And we know eventually that there's a marriage that takes place between them. Yosef and Dinah. When Dinah, she's ostracized because of what happens with Shechem. That's already very deep Ma'am Lo'eh stuff. Maybe if Joe comes on the chat, he'll tell us. He's not here also right now. But in any event, be it as it may. So it could be that when the acronym of Allah, Esav, Lavan, Yosef is given, Yosef has both Yosef and Dinah. It's a 2-in-1 because Yosef is connected to Dinah. Their souls are connected. Beautiful. And that is an answer to the question. I love that answer and I do accept it. So thank you again, Elise, for that answer. So coming back to our question today, and if anyone has an answer, please share it with us. Why don't we give Al Hanisim thanks to Hashem for Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot? And so to answer this thought, I would like to talk today about miracles. What is a miracle? What is the definition of a miracle? I know it's a very simple question, but let's define what is a miracle, right? A miracle is when my wife stops talking, right? What is a miracle, right? What is a nes? We use the word today very lightly. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. Really, what is a miracle? A miracle is very simple. Something that's supernatural, against nature, that defies the laws of nature. That's what we call a miracle. This pen is supposed to fall, and then I let go, and it doesn't fall. That becomes a miracle. If it falls, that's called natural. Very nice. So the sea, the ocean is supposed to stay connected, and then God splits the sea. That's a miracle. The Jews are, hail is supposed to be ice, and then there's fire mixed. That's a miracle. Very nice. These are all miracles that God does when he goes against nature. But if that's true, if the definition of a miracle is something defying nature, then guess what? We have another type of miracle, a miracle that maybe we're not so familiar with, a miracle that maybe we don't call miracles, but it is a miracle because the definition that we gave fits the criteria. Again, a miracle is something that goes against nature. When God goes against his nature, that's a miracle. His nature is the sea stays together and then it splits. So he's going against his nature. Well, guess what? When man goes against his nature, that's a miracle. When people are able to step up and go against what they're naturally inclined to do. If a person is embarrassed in public, and every ounce of them wants to scream back and say, how dare you insult me? You're a nobody. You're a loser. And then they bite their tongue and they don't say anything back. They don't insult back. That's going against their nature. You don't have a bigger miracle than that. When a person is tested to do the wrong thing, and naturally they want to just give in to their desires, to their temptations. They want to eat something. They want to speak something. They want to do something that they know they shouldn't do. They want to take advantage of a customer. They want to lie. They want to steal, whatever it is. And they hold themselves back and they show restraint, going against what they would naturally be inclined to do, giving into their tendency. And they pass a test. That's a man-made miracle. Because again, when God goes against his nature, that's a miracle. When man goes against their nature, that's a miracle. When a person achieves moral perfection, when a person is resilient, going against all odds, these are miracles. And by the way, if I may dare say, these are even greater miracles than the God-made miracles. Because for God, it's just as easy to split the sea as it is to not. For a person to go against their teva, their nature, that is the most difficult thing. So in a way, man-made miracles are greater than God-made miracles. In this week's parasha, if we could connect the parasha a little bit, we find such a miracle. Not a God-made miracle, a man-made miracle. We find an individual who is tested tremendously with the most difficult test of mankind. Of course, we are referring to Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef HaTzadik is in a foreign land, sold from his father by his own brothers. He is sold as a slave to never think he's going to see his father again. And Yosef is in Egypt, and he is tested with a very attractive person, his master's wife, Eshet Potifar. And she tries seducing him, not once, not twice, but the Torah tells us, our rabbis say, a full year. Every day, tempting, tempting, tempting. Yosef is very strong. He doesn't give in. And no one's going to find out, Yosef. No one's going to know. It'll just be your little secret. And the Torah tells us amazingly, we have to open the text. And let's open up in the meantime. Perashat Vayeshev, forget page. Chapter 39. And okay. I'm sorry, everybody. I lost you. And I'm using my cell phone. Could I just get a thumbs up if you guys could see me? Could you hear me? Okay. I'm not sure why this happened. So I'm using my phone. And let me see if it will go back to my computer. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to make sure I could get it from my computer just a little bit easier. And if not, I'll just use my computer. I'll use my phone. Going on with my computer. So I'm just going to use my phone. Okay, so are we clear? Is it clear? I can't see anybody. Is it clear? Okay, great. Okay, sorry. I can only see 4 screens at a time now. So I have no idea. So sorry for the angle, first of all. And no, this is not a phone call. This is a computer. I'm not sure why it happened. But either way, we find in our parasha, I don't know where I lost you. Did we speak about the word vayanos? Did we mention it? No. Okay, we spoke about Potiphar and Yosef. Yes? Yosef and Potiphar or no? Okay, great. Here. And she says, lie with me. She says, lie with me. And he says, Pasuk says, Vayanos vayetze achutza. He leaves his garment in her hand and he runs outside. And that word vayanos, the word vayanos, which means to run away, that's a very interesting word. We wouldn't say in Hebrew vayanos. Usually we would say vayibrach, right? That's how we say someone runs away. What does it mean, vayanos? Vayanos is a word that we find in Tehillim. And I would like to share with you what it says over there. We find when the Jewish people are crossing the sea, and we sing this on Pesach, it says over there, Hayam Ra'a Vayanos. The water saw and it ran away. And our rabbis notice the similarities in that word Vayanos written by Yosef and the Vayanos that's written by the Jews crossing the sea, the Yam Suf in Pesach. And our rabbis wonder what's the connection. What is the connection between Yosef running and the water? And what the rabbis say is fantastic. Our rabbis tell us that when the Jews got to Yam Suf, the water did not want to split. The water said to Moshe, why should I split for you? I'm older than you. You were created on day 6. I was created on day 2. The water is on day 2. I'm older. I don't move for you. Who are you? Why should I move for you? Why should I go against my nature for you? And we know that Moshe Rabbeinu, the Midrash tells us, Vayikach Moshe et atzmot Yosef imo. Moshe took the bones of Yosef with him as he was leaving Egypt. Why does Moshe take the bones of Yosef? And our rabbis tell us for this moment right here. Moshe Rabbeinu knows that when he gets to the sea, it's not going to want to split. So he shows the ocean the bones. And he says, take a look at this man right here. Take a look at Yosef. You know who Yosef is? You know what Yosef did? Yosef went against the most difficult test ever humanly possible. Yosef was tempted. And the Pasuk tells us that Vayanos vayetze achutza. He runs. He leaves everything. Can you imagine the difficulty? And so says Moshe Rabbeinu to the ocean, if Yosef could go against his nature, if naturally a person gives in to their temptations, and Yosef rises above that. That's called a miracle. And so if a man does miracles, then so too God has to do miracles. If man goes against nature, then you, ocean, must go against nature. You, the sea, must split for us. Not for me, but for Yosef HaTzadik. And so the Midrash says, Hayam Ra'a, when the water saw, Vayanos, it split. What did the water see? Who did the water see? And the Midrash says it saw Yosef. When the water saw Yosef's coffin, Hayam Ra'a, oh, there's a man that does miracles. There's a man that goes against nature. I too must bow to Yosef. And so he splits the sea. Hayam Ra'avanos, amazing concept. And how beautiful. How beautiful is that the way that we say a test in Hebrew. Anyone know how we say a test in Hebrew? A test is a nisayon. A nisayon is the same root as the word nes. A nes is a miracle. A nisayon is a miracle. When a person passes a test, that is a miracle. And the word used for Yosef running away is that word, vayanos. Again, we have this word nes all over today. It's a nes of Hanukkah. It's a man passing his nisayon. It's Yosef, vayanos, running away from his test. Because they're all the same. They're one and the same. And so we go back to our first question. Why is there no Al HaNisim in Pesach? Why is there no Al HaNisim in Shavuot? Why no Al HaNisim on Sukkot? And now we understand that there are miracles on Pesach, true. There are miracles on Hanukkah, there are miracles on Purim. But those are God-made miracles. And for God to do a miracle is not so impressive. When God splits the sea, it's great. We need it to happen. But he's God. He can do anything. It's specifically when man does miracles. When the group of Hashmonaim could stand up against the Greeks, defying all odds, showing that they have faith in God, faith in man, faith in themselves, having the strength, the resilience to face them, to confront them, to say, we will not let you step over us. That's a miracle. Lady Esther is a... That's why we remind ourselves. And yes, Jennifer, answering our original question also. That's maybe why the oil is just a small of the oil is not this is of Al HaNisim. Actually, don't even mention the miracle of Al HaNisim, just lighting of the oil. We don't mention the miracle of the oil because it's not the point of Al HaNisim. Al HaNisim is that we could perform every single day. A student of the Baal Shem Tov wanted to see Eliyahu Hanavi. So he goes to his rabbi and he says, Rabbi, I would love to see Eliyahu Hanavi. Can you help me see him? I want to know where to see him. So his rabbi says, no problem. Baal Shem Tov says, you want to see Eliyahu Hanavi? You got to go to this family right before Shabbat and spend Shabbat with them and you'll see Eliyahu Hanavi. He says, okay, sounds like a plan. And as he's about to leave, the Baal Shem Tov says, but wait, before you go, I'll just give you a little heads up. Make sure you take some food. The family is very poor. The husband passed away. They don't have much food for Shabbat. He says, okay, great. So he takes a whole wagon load of food, wine, drinks, everything. He loads it up Friday afternoon. He starts traveling to the address that the rabbi gives him. He gets to the house. He sees this broken down house. He knocks on the door and the wife opens up. How can I help you? He says, hi, I'm stuck here for Shabbat. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm too far from my house. Could I please stay with you guys for Shabbat? The wife says, okay, listen, me and my kids, we don't have much, but you can stay. And he says, no, don't worry, ma'am. I have tons of food. I have tons of wine. I have tons of drinks. I have all in my back. I could bring it. We could eat together. Well, she's very grateful. He brings in the food. He brings in the drinks. They spend the whole Shabbat together. The kids are eating like they never ate before. Saturday night, Shabbat comes, Shabbat ends, and the man doesn't see Eliyahu Hanavi. You can imagine how upset he was. So he goes to he leaves Saturday night. He goes back to the Baal Shem Tov. He says, Rabbi, I went to the family for Shabbat, spend the whole Shabbat with them. I didn't see Eliyahu Navi. What happened? I spent Shabbat away from my family just to go there, and you promised. I didn't see them. Rabbi says, listen, if something happened, go this Shabbat, you'll see him. He says, okay. Same idea. Takes food, takes drinks, goes to their family. Friday, knocks on the door. Wife opens up, says, hi, can I, I miscalculated the time. Can I please stay with you guys for Shabbat? The wife lets him in. He brings the food, the drinks. They spend the whole Shabbat together. And he's looking. Doesn't see Eliyahu Navi. He's so upset this time. He goes back to his rabbi, furious Saturday night. He says, Rabbi, I don't understand. 2 times you send me to this family, and I'm sleeping in hay and in this dump. And then all of a sudden, you promised me Eliyahu Navi. I don't see Eliyahu Navi. What's going on, Rabbi? And the Baal Shem Tov says, listen, go this Shabbat, but listen to me. Go a minute before Shabbat starts. He says, okay. He gets there, and he's waiting, looking at his watch. An hour, half hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, a minute and a half before Shabbat's about to begin, he quickly runs to the door. And as he's about to knock, he overhears inside the house the kids crying, Mama, Mama, what are we going to eat? And I have Shabbat. What are we going to eat? What are we going to drink? We barely have, bread. What kind of Shabbat is that? And then he listens to the most remarkable answer that made him come to tears. And the mother says, don't worry, kids. Don't worry, kinderlach. Just like last week, and just like 2 weeks ago, Hashem sent us Eliyahu Navi. He'll send him again. Don't worry, kids. And it's at that moment that the man realized what the rabbi, the Baal Shem Tov, was trying to teach him. And that is that sometimes in life we are looking for Eliyahu Navi, we are looking for that miracle. We don't realize, we don't remember that sometimes we are the miracle that we could be in people's lives. We are, in a way, the Eliyahu Navi that people are looking for. We are able to bring a smile. We are able to bring a salvation. We're able to make someone's day. We can make their life. We can make a change. That is what we learn from this story. That is what this man realized that his Rebbe, the Baal Shem Tov, was trying to teach him. That is the message of the Al Hanisim. That yes, God could do miracles. Yes, He could send Eliyahu Navi. But on Chanukah, we celebrate more than the God-made miracles. And yes, definitely we do celebrate that. I'm not taking that away at all. And I hope I'm not coming across that we shouldn't thank Hashem for the miracles that He does. That's not my message today. My message is that on Chanukah, we shouldn't only pray for a miracle, but we should also remember to be a miracle. That is the line. Don't pray for a miracle, but be a miracle. Be zochet to experience nisim, both from God and also from man, throughout our lives. I wanted to say to all of you that you are all miracles. Seeing how we all have a busy Shabbat. Preparing. It's not easy. I know how much preparation is going on, whether we're going to people or people are coming to us, and some people are already wrapping the gifts. I see as we're trying to, get ready for this beautiful holiday, and making time every day, starting off our day with Torah. The fact that Am Yisrael is here, and we're not just here, but we're alive and we're successful, and what we bring to the world, and we stay committed to our values in a world that's very dark, in a world of sheker, in a world that you could go out there and get lost with all the different ideas that are very dangerous and against our Torah. But we know, and we stay committed and we stay connected wherever we are. We could be in Europe, we could be in South America, we could be in North America, we could be in the Middle East, wherever we are in the world. God bless all of you. It's so inspiring for me that I see so much commitment every single day. So many people coming to learn, and there's nothing in it for you. You know this. We don't send you food. We don't give you refreshments. There's no free cake or coffee. There's nothing. This is pure, unadulterated Torah. That is a miracle. May we be zochet to continue doing miracles in many ways for us, for Am Yisrael, for the world. I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all so much. Chag Sameach.